Memphis, 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 nothing but Memphis.
This Showboats right here on the Captain's Log, presented by the United Football Media. I am your host, Brandon, aka the Captain. Man, it's been a while, guys. Sorry about that, but all that means is we just got a lot more to talk about. So let's jump right into it. Okay, so by now you've probably heard the USFL XFL, they're merging. Okay, they announced that September 28th. The USFL did on their social, on X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it. And since then, we've heard some things. We've heard stuff from the USFL side of things. We've heard stuff from the XFL side of things, not from the leagues themselves, but from different insiders, different talking heads, different folks around the community. It's really just kind of up to you who you decide. You know, me personally, I'm going to listen to the USFL side of things because that's what I know, and those are the people that I know. So do with that as you may, but let's talk about some things that we might know for sure. What we do know for sure is our team, the Memphis Showboats, is sticking around for sure. Not a doubt about it. Okay, pretty much a foregone conclusion. The USFL and Memphis locked in the Liberty Bowl for another year. Memphis has been out and about in the community doing things. And if you needed even further proof without having our official announcement yet, because we're still waiting on that official announcement that they are merged, that the FTC, the Federal Trade Commission, has approved the merger and all that goes through. Steve Macy, USFL Memphis Showboats Director of Marketing, went on the local news station in Memphis earlier this week, last week, I believe, and confirmed that the Memphis Showboats will be in the new league, like I said. So awesome to see that. And what we have heard is that there's going to be all 8 USFL teams will make it. Okay. And we are going to bring in 4 additional teams from the XFL and add them to the mix as well to get a 12-team league. Now, we've heard that from multiple people so far. James Larson being one from Pro Football Newsroom. We heard Neil Stratton say it from inside the league. He sends out a newsletter via email to folks. And he said the same thing that Larson was saying. Looks like 8 USFL teams, 4 XFL teams. The 4 likely XFL teams to stay would be the St. Louis Battlehawks, the DC Defenders, San Antonio Brahmas, and the Arlington Renegades. So when you look at those teams, it's pretty clear to tell why we would take those teams. The St. Louis and DC, outstanding, just amazing attendance, great fan environments, great atmospheres at both of those stadiums. St. Louis was setting a record every week for attendance. They had to keep opening up seats because the demand was so high. And, St. Louis is a football starved town. They got done wrong by the NFL in their eyes when the team of the Rams moved back to LA. So St. Louis showed out and supported their Battlehawks. DC, the Defenders over there, play at Audi Field, a nice, smaller MLS soccer stadium, I do believe. And perfect. They packed that thing out every weekend. It looked like it was sold out damn near every weekend, that there wasn't bad weather. And, they were home of that sweet beer snake over there, the legend that is the beer snake, which is pretty awesome. If you haven't seen that, go check it out. And then you've got 2 Texas teams coming in. So obviously the USFL already has a Houston team and the Gamblers. So it seems like they will just take over they would just be the Houston team, the Houston Gamblers, not the Houston Roughnecks of the XFL. And then you've got San Antonio and Arlington. So those 2 to me make sense because the USFL is all about keeping costs low. Okay. That's what got us to season 2. That's what's allowed us to make the moves we're making now. And that was what allowed us to keep going to season 3, even if we weren't going to merge with the XFL. So adding 2 more Texas teams just seems like a good thing logistically, keep travel costs down low. But again, these are all hearsay from sources that James Larson has, Neil Stratton has, other folks have. So it's a source off, folks. We got a good old fashioned source off. Whichever source you want to believe, you believe it. These are the sources that I believe for now. So until proven right or wrong, then we can judge from there. Anyway, moving on to our team that will be surviving the merger. Okay, the Memphis Showboats. We're here, baby. We're locked in. Season tickets have just gone on sale. They did a pick your seats event just a couple weekends ago. The Memphis Showboats did at the Liberty Bowl. And it was awesome. A great success. Derek Dillon came out, Special Teams Player of the Year for the Boats. Got to meet some of the fans. Fans got to meet him. So they are switching it this year from the west side where the press box is to the east side for the stadium renovations. So folks had to come out, pick their seats, do all that fun stuff. Always fun stuff for the kids because USFL is all about family, friendly, affordability, baby. That's what we're here for. So great to see that stuff, man. Memphis is here. Memphis looks like we're going to be sticking around for a while, okay? The Showboats look to be set up for the long haul. You know, a few years down the road, the USFL has always had this the plan of selling off these franchises, making them their own independent teams with their own independent owners. And Memphis has that in a potential Fred Smith, who pretty much helped the Showboats be back in Memphis. You know, he's been a real collaborative effort with the USFL. Seems like he's very interested in what we got going here in spring football. And how could you not be? Because after this merger, man, let me tell you what, I don't care which side of the fence you're on. This is awesome. This is just showing that even more so, spring football is going to be here, and it's going to be here for the long run. And I just can't wait to see that. So moving on to the big Showboats news. You've probably heard it by now. I had heard about it maybe a month and a half ago. You know, we've been sitting on this one for a little minute now, but it just broke recently. Head coach Todd Haley is out as Memphis Showboats head coach. Want to thank Haley for everything he did the past 2 seasons, helping the USFL get off on the right foot. You know, he was the coach of the Tampa Bay Bandits last year before they were put on hiatus and basically rebranded to the Memphis Showboats. So he's been here from the beginning. He's been here through the Memphis transition. You wish he could have stayed around. You know, everybody in Memphis loved him. You know, the players seem to love him. You know, he seems to be an okay guy, you know, so it's just the nature of the business, man. You know, we're in this business. These guys are in this business to win. And Coach Haley, after 2 seasons, we haven't been to the playoffs. We've kind of got off to rough starts. The offense has just been kind of meh, and he's supposed to be an offensive guy. So, you know, it is what it is, man. Todd Haley over the past 2 seasons, let's talk about it. He was gone. His win-loss record's 9-11. So, you know, that's what it is. The Showboats offense this past season put up 1,724 yards passing, 859 rushing yards, averaging 3.4 yards per carry, which was last in the league. And rushing attempts, we were at 251 rushing attempts, 3rd in the league. So rushing, we didn't give up on it. We didn't give up on the rush. We kept running the ball. The problem was we were only getting 3.4 yards per carry. So I'm talking about the offense because Haley has been an offensive guy his whole career. That's kind of his bread and butter there. So you would expect at least the offense to be producing, to be something to write home about. But the Showboats offense was not that. It actually, from year 1 with the Bandits to year 2 with the Showboats, all of the stats went down. With the Bandits, we put up 2,074 passing yards, 938 rushing yards. So still the rushing yard average was 3.5 yards per carry. So still the rushing yard average wasn't that good, but if we could get that up to 4 yards per carry, we'd probably be saying, okay, that's pretty good. But again, just not that great. You know, year 1, we had Jordan Teamu with Tampa Bay. My personal opinion was that Teamu and Haley just did not mesh well. Their styles were just different. I don't think Haley could mold his offense and what he wanted to do around Teamu. So you figured when he got Cole Kelly about 3 games into the season, when Cole became the official starter for the rest of the way after Brady White got benched, you thought, okay, you heard it every week on the broadcast. Cole Kelly, Big Ben type of dude, because he's big. He's 6'7", huge dude out there. And that's where Todd Haley was most successful in the NFL, with a Big Ben type of quarterback. So people were expecting some pretty good things out of Cole. Cole was all right. The offense was all right. It could be a culmination of things. The offensive line, of course, is always a big sticking point. So we'll see what happens there, man. The new coach will not be probably after the merger, and probably way, way after the merger. They said, of course, they've been searching. Like I said, most of us have known about this for about a month or so now. So I'm sure the search has been underway, but I'm sure once the merger news came out, the search ended immediately. So we will be waiting with bated breath to see who our next head coach will be. My early candidate for next head coach would be our current DC, Carnell Lake. The Showboats defense was absolutely lights out that second half of the season. They went on a tear. Seems like he can really get guys to rally behind him. Seems like he can get the best out of guys. And if we can get him a good, young, up-and-coming offensive coordinator maybe, or just a different offensive coordinator, or I've seen other options as well floated out there. Obviously, a new head coach altogether from the outside. With that, though, you run the risk of him bringing in a whole new staff, and I just don't like a whole new staff coming in. If we could just replace 1 or 2 guys and keep everybody else, that'd be fine. But moving on from Coach Haley, we've got a little bit of free agency news, and then we'll be out of here, guys. Let's go. So, re-signings. We've re-signed a good bit of guys here. We've got Greg Reeves coming back, Matt Burrell, Ryan DeSalvo, Brandon Wright. 2 of our specialist group is back together. Alex Kessman is still around. So good to see that with this a re-sign of Brandon Wright, the punter, and our long snapper DeSalvo, the special teams unit can stay in place, because after the defense, that was probably our best unit, the special teams. So good to see those guys stay as a unit. We also got back Nehemiah Shelton, who was a rookie for us last year. He went on to play for the Jets a little bit in the preseason. We're bringing back Anthony Butler, Dalen Mack, Jordan Ferguson is a huge one. Give him another year, a full year in this defense. Last season, he came in late, I think about week 7, week 6, immediately made an impact on the D-line. Got his chance to go to the Seahawks, played in the NFL preseason with Levi Bell, another USFL alumni. Did pretty good. Unfortunately, he got cut, obviously. That's why he has re-signed with the Showboats. He could still maybe get another chance, but I haven't seen his workout. I haven't seen him pop up on any workouts. So seems like Jordan will definitely be a Showboat next year and prove to these guys that they're missing out, because what I've seen from Jordan, I think he could at least deserves a practice squad. So after Jordan, we've got Delrick Abrams and Jeremiah Valawaga also coming back. And then we got 3 new free agents to talk about. So first one up, we've got wide receiver Dawood Davis out of Western Kentucky. Went to Western Kentucky after starting his college career at Oregon. Transferred over to Western Kentucky as a Hilltopper. He played 26 games for the Hilltoppers, had 106 receptions, 1,635 yards, 15 touchdowns. So solid player. He had a shot in the NFL in the preseason. He was playing with the Dolphins and unfortunately just took a nasty hit in that game, left him on the field. He had to be ambulanced off the field. Real scary situation in the preseason. They ended up forfeiting that game. I think it was between the Dolphins and the Patriots maybe, but just a nasty injury. But Dawood recovered physically for the most part. Within a couple days, he was good after he got to the hospital. And now he is going to the Showboats, a nice new weapon to try out and add to the receiving core that we got. I'd like to see Seems like we'll have Ryan McDaniel back, another young guy. Daywood's another young guy. So it'd be nice to get some of these guys a little more involved. We lost Vinny Papali recently to the New Orleans Breakers. So good thing we've got Daywood coming in and kind of balance that out. Moving on to a draft pick from the USFL Collegiate Draft last year. We selected Michael Ezike, tight end from UCLA. He was picked in the 5th round of the USFL Collegiate Draft by the Boats. Big body, tight end, 6'5" product from Cali. Spent some time in the NFL with the Chargers in the preseason. Just a really raw kind of talent. He didn't play too much in college at tight end. He really only had 1 year, maybe 1.5 years of playing full-on tight end position in college. So would like to see him evolve in the USFL, get that springboard to the NFL possibility. But if not, hey, we'll always keep him. So love to see that, another offensive weapon. And then one guy for the defense here. Pretty excited about this one. Okay. Our defense already last year was pretty good. You heard a bunch of the defensive guys that are coming back from last year that we have re-signed. So signing this guy, I'm pretty excited about. P.J. Hall, defensive end out of Sam Houston State. He was a Buck Buchanan finalist, 2-time FCS All-American, got drafted by the then Oakland Raiders back in 2018. So an older guy, more veteran type of guy. Unfortunately, he had some injury problems, a couple legal issues that seemed to have kind of just derailed his NFL career. He was actually in the XFL most recently with the Brahmas and the Sea Dragons. Like I said, a good veteran presence to bring into the room. We've got John Atkins, Big John. He's an older fella. I don't think he has re-signed yet, but hoping he comes back. But if not, John Atkins is an older guy. I think he's in his 30s now, so there is a chance he could be retiring. But I would love to see him back. And if we can get John Atkins, PJ Hall, Jordan Ferguson, Jordan Williams, Dalen Mack, just the defensive line is going to look really, really nice. He could possibly end his football career in the USFL. PJ could. He's 28 years old already. And like I said, he's got a couple injury bugs, couple legal issues. So stuff like that, man, you get bounced around a couple practice squads. You get out of the NFL pretty quick after that, man. But hopefully he can come in and surprise some people, show the NFL that he still got some juice, work his way back to the NFL. We've seen it this year. We're seeing dudes in the NFL right now ball out, so USFL, man, Memphis Showboats, we're doing our thing. This has been awesome. I appreciate you guys for showing up and showing out for me. Your Showboats will be back next season. I'm going to get back on here a little more frequently for you. Hopefully some more news is going to start picking up. We'll see what the merger looks like. And as always, go Boats.